Steve Myers, and welcome to another Myers Message. Today we're talking about signs. Signs. Everywhere are signs. The last time you rode or walked through Baton Rouge, I'm sure you saw at least one ragged sign on the right-of-way or a utility pole advertising for a queen-size mattress or offering to fix your computer or to buy your junk car. You also are now seeing political signs everywhere. The reason is very simple, is that there's essentially no enforcement of ordinances, plenty of law, pages of rules on signs in public right-of-ways and so forth, but they don't seem to be enforced. All political signs, for example, are supposed to be removed within 7 days of the end of the election cycle. The fine for violating that is $25 per sign. Now, if this were enforced against the politicians, it'd be a great way to raise some money and to reduce the number of signs left up after campaigns, help pay the expenses of maintaining streets and right-of-ways and neutral grounds. But the amount raised so far in the collection of political signs, zero. So, what about the companies that have the infinite supply of signs that say they'll buy your junk cars or fix your computer? Well, you know, what they do is that they get a certified letter from the city. They go and show up in litter court, or they don't show up in litter court, and then have a $117 or so fine, not per sign but per violation. So what happens is that they consider this just a cost of doing business. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not for more laws. I'm not sure that I like the ones that we have right now, but we do know that we have a sign problem. But it seems to me that the parish attorney and DPW is spending their time enforcing laws that really don't affect anyone, like who people live with in certain zoning areas, and they let these violators go free. Let's take permits, for example. I was surprised to find out that when we got our sign permit for the election campaign, that there were only about 10 people who had actually taken out the sign permits. The people who weren't on the list included at least 2 mayor candidates, several Supreme Court candidates, and a number of Metro Council candidates, including one Metro Councilman who has an illegal sign in the right-of-way outside of his business. Now, it's funny because this councilman is rabid about enforcing some zoning laws and some ordinances in the South Downs area, but apparently he's not self-conscious enough to even follow the sign permit law. So we can clean up our streets. We don't need new ordinances. We'll enforce the ordinances we have, but we'll also keep it in perspective. We're not going to allow these violators to simply charge off the costs of flagrant disregard of the law. So we can clean up our streets. We don't need new ordinances. My administration will enforce the ordinances that we have and make the littering violations more painful to the companies that do this and the politicians. In my administration, these violators won't be able to simply charge off the cost of their flagrant disregard for the community standards as a cost of business, and the politicians will make it known, will make it public who they are, and that they are basically hypocrites for wanting to enforce some laws when they're not affected, but not enforce them or abide by them themselves. We can make Baton Rouge a beautiful city. We can enjoy our walks, our drives, unmarred by the litter of these unsightly signs. We can make it nice. We can make it happen if we make it Myers. So come back tomorrow for another Myers Message. Thank you.